Ryan with Miss.Geek here, and in this video we're going to look at this random AC/DC power charger number MF00505004000 made in May of 2020. The reason we're looking at this is because it's broke. I was at my friend's house, and his dad, who doesn't quite understand these things and also has dementia, was showing us a power cord, a USB charger cord that had been plugged into this that was melted. And so he was throwing the cord away, and I said, no, you've got to, what was this plugged into? Because that's bad too. If it melted, that got very hot. And he led me over to this, and that's what it was. So I don't see any way to tear this apart, but there's a 120 volt input here, and a bunch, there's 5 USB ports here to plug in for power. And this thing is pretty light, so I'm guessing that it's not very good. And you can see the holes here where they had it screwed into the their end table, actually. And so it was held down with some just sheet metal screws or wood screws. So what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to get this thing open. It appears that this outer shell and these inner shell are somehow, oh, actually there's a little spot, there's a spot right there. I wonder if we can, it appears that the outer shell and inner shell are separate, and I'm hoping that we can exploit that to take this apart. There's some, here we go. And that went flying. And now, there it is. Okay. And yeah, this is clearly bad. These broke off. And yeah, they just, you can tell this solder broke right here. And we get it under magnification, and we can look at the actual failure. So, something to point with. You can see that this actually wasn't soldered very well here or here. Those are cold solders. And I suspect, if you look at this one, same thing, very badly put together. This one seems okay. This one's not. This one's not. So these two are just very, very poorly soldered. They didn't use enough solder. Probably didn't get the board hot enough. But they did short out and get the cord hot enough that the cord actually melted. So, inside the ports, they actually look okay, but I'm going to see if we can see signs of the meltiness here. I'm going to try to force this back together just a little bit. There we go. Just kind of, sort of. And I'm not really seeing any big signs of heat. But the board clearly got hot over here. Oh, here we have it. There we go. Blown capacitor. So you guys probably spotted that before I did. But yeah, there's a clearly blown capacitor right here. And let's liberate it from its mount and take a look. Let me just find my cutters somewhere around here. At least I thought I had them somewhere around here. Here we go. So let's cut out this capacitor. Normally we would just desolder it, but we can get to the leads because of it being completely failed. And now let's take a look. So you can see clearly that this barrier has failed. The electrolytic capacitor has popped. So that's part of the failure. Is that what got so hot? What else do we have here? Seeing some signs of heat around this transformer, mostly around this, but there's clearly some heat going on right here and also on the edge right here. At least that looks like heat to me. What do you think? So yeah, this thing is dead. Very, very dead. Let's check the fuse. Let me just check for continuity on the fuse here. Yeah, it's time for a new multi-tester. So let's just check continuity on this here fuse. Does it right, huh? And that does not appear to be. Again, I need a new DVM. Oh, come on. It might be the battery. No, not the battery. The rotary switch in these things like to give out. Okay, there we go. So we have continuity there, but look at that terrible solder. The solders in this thing are just awful. There's a hole. So, yeah, really great quality. In fact, there's solder here, but not here. But there's nothing going through it either. So that doesn't even. This. Oh, okay, so look at this. This is how bad the manufacturing is. There's a hole in the PCB here and here. Let me get the magnification out of the way. We'll keep the light though. There's a hole here and here. And there's a cutout here and here for just a wire to go over and through. So a wire to hold this down so that it can't flex like that. And they left it off. So when you buy cheap garbage, this is what you get. And I'm not faulting my friends for buying cheap stuff. This probably cost, $15-20. But if you don't buy this is why you buy name brand good stuff. And name brand isn't always perfect either. But look at this. I'm not sure what chip that is, but look at how awful. Let's get this in here. Hopefully this video even works, but look at how awful this soldering is there on that surface mount. Probably a switch or a MOSFET, I'm guessing. I can't see it, and I'm not going to look it up, but guessing that's a MOSFET right there. And look at how awful the soldering is on that. It's just terrible. I mean, just terrible. So when you plug 120 volts into something, you hope that it's well engineered, and it has signs of being well engineered. There's some separation between the 120 volts, this diode, and so it looks like you've got 120 volts going into a couple of resistors and into this. Looks like a half wave regulator, or that could be a full wave regulating diode. And then that goes over into this circuit here, knocks it down to 5 volts. And then there's a transformer here. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this stuff. But this circuit here clearly, well, this is the separator right here. So here's the transformer. This is providing the 120. So this is all 120 volt over here. And this is all 5 volt over here. So I don't know. I'm not an electrical engineer. I'm not going to try to play one. I'm not Big Clive. I'm not going to try to break down the circuit or anything. But cheap junk is cheap, and it's junk. So anyway, I hope that this was interesting to you. Make sure you buy good stuff and pay a little extra maybe, because if this was in my house, I'd be nervous. So this is going to get 86'd. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you later. Oh, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Would do you think this is absolute garbage? Do you think that this is just a matter of getting what you pay for? Or is this just bad manufacturing from, the manufacturer being cheap? Or is the consumer partly to blame here? I mean, clearly this was no good. They didn't put any money into building this thing, right? So what do you think? Anyway, let me know. See you later.